Welcome back to Black Skies Reviews. In this review, we'll be taking a look at Valaverse's Action Force Steel Brigade Night Ops Steel Brigade figure. This is the package it comes in. It's jet black, very cool. We have the gray Action Force logo and a very cool green nameplate at the bottom. These are recommended for ages 14 and above. Here's the top of the packaging. There's checking hands for small parts for any children under the age of 3. Here's the side of the packaging. Very nice black and white artwork with a nice green lettering. Very, very cool. And then this side we have Action Force logo. And this is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. Here is the cross sell at the top on the back. Some of the other cool characters you can get. One of my personal favorites is Trigger. Still have to do a review for him. But, you know, time is precious. QR code. So we have the file card. Pretty cool. It's quite dark. It's hard to do these black things lately. I don't know why. If you can pause and read that or not. Pretty decent. You do get 2 action points with this, so clip those and save them if you do open your figures, because there will be doing something with those in the future. Okay, so with that being said, let's take a look at this cool figure outside the packaging. Okay, here he is outside the packaging, and I like him a lot. He looks fantastic. First impressions is obviously the black is awesome, and the greens. I say greens because there's actually 2 greens. The more of the olive drab with his attire, and then that little bright neon green lens that's just perfectly colored, because I'm not a big fan of fluorescent colors. This is a head sculpt. It is basically a repaint of our other Steel Brigade troopers, version 1, version 2. Very cool. Do have a little square on his head there. That nice green visor. Do have some gray here that separates the side and the front of his mask. Right down here, that kind of looks like a lightning bolt. It's pretty cool. It's on both sides. We have a little piece here. It gives you like an optical illusion that there's gray there, but it's not. It's just the light hitting it. The back of the head, top of the head. His vest is a straight up repaint from the one of the gear sets that we've gotten in the past. He does have 2 removable ammo clips here. We'll take that out here eventually when we do the accessory part. Gray and black camo looks great. Breaks up the chest. Nice. I love the green. It actually works for this figure because pretty much anything works for black. So black buckle there, very nice. But black, the back of the vest is it's kind of same deco. The gray and black scratches. The top has these green little straps. Knife slate here for a knife, and then we have some straps on each side of the figure, as you can see. The hands do have padded gloves with some green on top. Pretty cool. We have a green loose belt that's removable if you would like to take that off. Underneath that we have another belt that has actually loops on it. Pretty cool. Buckle. It's good. The back of the belt that's removable has this piece you can hang something on there or slide down through, maybe like a comma or something. The black throughout around the belt, the hoops. Black pants. We do have the very cool thigh pads. We have the green straps that actually go through. Looks like it's protruding through the pad itself. We have the black connectors, black case for his pistol. For some reason I always look at that. It kind of looks backwards to me, but meh, it's probably not. Pouch on his side, same deco for the thigh pads. Gray knee pads, green boots with the little black buckles on them, or connectors, whatever you want to call them. Then we have the black soles. I do like the realistic footprint sculpt on the bottom. That's super cool. Pickles for his stand. Looking great. Can't really pick anything out negative except for those shoulders. I don't know what's going on here with these little pointy pieces. I know that maybe they're trying to complete the body mold, but when you paint that a different color, it just stands out. I don't know why he insists on painting the butterfly joints another color in most of the figures in that little shoulder flap piece. It's unsightly to me. I'm not sure what you guys think about that, but for me, I wish he would either just paint it one color or resculpt that entire section or something. I don't know. I know you need space for the butterfly joints to work, but it's just unsightly when it's two different colors. But I digress. For the articulation, head looks up. Looks cool. Nice range. Down. Not too much side to side at all. Rotation 360 because it's on a ball joint. Arms on a ball joint to rotate 360. They do raise up. We do not get a T-pose on these guys. I don't know why. That's unfortunate. Bicep swivel 360. Quite stiff. Can't turn it all the way around, but you can see it's there. Double. Oh boy, this is stiff too. Double jointed elbows. It's going to get you better than 90 degrees on both arms. And obviously the hands are down and up on both hands because it's a silvery paint figure. And that is super stiff too. I'm going to have to get some heat to this guy before I go out playing too much with him. Just a chest articulation. You get to side to side. There's an ab crunch, which you can't see because of the vest. I'm not going to take it off because, believe it or not, these are a pain to get back on. Especially getting the connector to punch through the hole. I believe it's right there. You can see a slit. Those are a pain to get back on. You have to use heat and everything else. And with some of those sets I picked up from my figures, it took me better than half an hour to get that to warm up and to fit, you know, repeat over and over and over. These thigh pads are removable. He does have 360 waist swivel. Very cool. He does sit very nicely. It's good for if we ever get any kind of vehicles, which I believe we might be getting something soon. Thigh swivel. Works very stiff though. It does have the double jointed knees, and let's see how this, it's really stiff. But there's another joint like right there. I gotta heat this guy up. I don't want to break it. This is my figure, and I don't want to break it. Boot cut. Feet do pivot down. Sum up. You get the rocker side to side. Hear that creaking? That's very tight. But there's a rocker there. And then you can rotate around the ankle if you want. But at this point, because of the stiffness of this figure, and I'm not going to risk damaging him. He retails for like $31.99 on Big Bad Toy Store. Very cool. I only have one. I wish I could pick. I might pick another one up. I'm not sure where I'm going with my Steel Brigade unit. Normally I like the unison and I go for multiple figures for my army building when I do army build. But he's done so many different type of versions of these guys. It kind of gives me an idea to go with an individual base unit for myself. I'm still on the fence with that, but that's my idea, at least. Let's take a look at the accessories, which are, if I can start with the ones that are on his person. You get 3 of these actually. You're going to get 2 in his case here. This looks like the M4 magazine. They're the same. There's no sense of pulling the other one out. That's exactly the same. And the other one's probably in the gun. So it clips in very nicely. Very cool. Second piece we have is a knife. Nice green handle. I love the two-tone. I'm glad when I get weapons, the handle on the knives are different color than a blade. Black blade, silver blade is pretty much my extent of my likes. Solid colors, kind of just make it doesn't look very realistic to me when it's a solid color, but when you do too, it definitely gives it a better appeal. Maybe even sometimes if you painted the studs black or gray to match this figure. It does stick out a good bit, but it's nice to have a place for it. It fits very snug, so don't have to worry about losing it. But still be careful with those small pieces, regardless of stiffness. You know, not falling over, you're knocking it over, one or the other, it can just definitely fall out. He can hold the knife pretty nicely with his current set of hands that he comes packaged in. It's pretty good. No problems there. Next up we do have his pistol. Black and green decoed. Gives the figure ownership, which is great. Drilled barrel on the front. Handle. It's pretty good. See how it fits in this case. Kind of clips in its own way, I guess. Looks pretty good. Nice seating, nice positioning. Of course, you can adjust the height depending on where you want your thigh pad to sit, higher or lower on his thigh. Can hold the pistol perfectly. The hands are a little soft, a little hard. I think they need to be a tad bit softer, but it's decent enough to where you can get in without too much worry about stress or marking up your weapons, like the old Scout G.I. Joes, where the handles and grips would just get like rubbed off. So I'll just pop the fingers, pull your fingers out with your thumb just for a little bit, and you can insert the gun. Looks pretty decent. Next up we have his assault rifle. It's pretty cool. The stock has drilled holes through it. Scope, rail system, black grip, green body with a green clip that matches what's on his person. These are removable, like I said. There's your third one. M203 grenade launcher. Drilled barrel here, and drill barrel on the grenade launcher also. I think this is kind of, my opinion, this is kind of oversized a little bit. This part here, especially there's too much gappage between the body of the assault rifle and the M203. It should sit a little higher for a more realistic look, and this massive trigger guard there. It's not. It's actually, you can see how much bigger it is of the other one. So that's definitely not a deal breaker, but something that can be improved on, in my opinion. But I do like the gun very much. Now, we didn't take a look at the butterfly joints because I wanted to save that for the articulation part for this assault rifle. You can see here they do rotate back and forth quite stiff, but a lot of these guns that I have, it's very difficult to get a tight fit for the for the assault rifles, at least because of the stocks. So let's give it a look and see how this works. So if you push back on these fingers, like I said, you can get them in without too much of a worry. Is it going to make a liar of me with this gun? Usually you get the thumb to pop out, and there's that stock that gets in the way all the time. That's just because I was trying to show you. But you can see that it goes in his hand quite nicely. Thumb fits where it needs to be. Pretty cool. Now, like I said, trying to get, even with that joint on the wrist, I'm sure if I can articulate or not, you can get him to kind of shoulder the weapon. Not too much of a problem here. There we go. But bringing that gun across is more a challenge than you would have liked. You just sort of sit high, it kind of slides onto his arm, and you can bring up his other hand. Obviously, he comes with other hands, like coupling hands. But to get that to sit where it's supposed to be, like right there, up against the shoulder. And see, it's seated nicely for a nice straight on pose, but watch what happens. Trying to bring it across, it's jammed. So you can't get that shoulder. Even if I start moving these shoulder joints, it pops out. And it's almost like he's in a guard position versus a shooting position. I mean, I think a lot of times you see online, you see a lot of photography that's just like trick angle photography, but it doesn't sit the way I would like to, at least. And I'm pretty sure that's a standard, like that I just showed you in a shouldered weapon. But nonetheless, it looks very cool. It has a great colors. I like the sculpt. Just a little big on the front end here, the M203 part. Other than that, it looks really cool for what we got. And hopefully maybe one day we get more detailed weapons like this. Very, very nice. Alright, so if he has an extra set of hands. He has 8 of them. 2 on his person and 6 more. If you ever want to go one-on-one with the Great One, you can always use these fist hands. They do not open, there's no joints, they're just completely sculpted shut. And it has a green and black pattern on it. Here's actually some nice more gripping hands, if you so desire. All these hands. I don't care, accessories is accessories. If we get less or more, obviously more is better, regardless. As long as they include something These two hands are the coupling hands for either side. So it couples underneath the gun. You get it right and the left, so that's really cool. So you can, if you want a lefty shooter, you want a right shooter, you have the option to switch it out. I think that was really cool. And last but not least, we do get this Action Force stand. It's diamond plated. It is black. Perfect color. And then you just get your figure on the hole, which is on the back heel part. Get your stand situated. Oh, on these stands, there's a little slit here. You can put your file card in there. I don't do that. I just don't like how that looks, for one. And second of all, it does damage your card if you keep removing it, putting it back in. It just mashes it. So what's the point, right? It's a little tight. You can get it in there, work it in. Maybe once or twice, it'll start loosening up the hole. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but works perfectly if you need to. So a little bit of a bonus content for you guys here, since you watched the whole video. Here is that file card. Very cool. I'm going to pause and read that. One thing I did notice about these I wanted to bring up and talk about for a few minutes was the way they are designed. You G.I. Joe collectors like myself out there probably know, like, the vintage file cards had this little, you come across the top and you had coming down around and go this way, and always get like some weird wonky cut into the card. I like how he designed this where it comes up, goes up and over, so you don't have to worry about some kind of fancy scissors or fancy cutting out. And every now and then, no matter how well you are cutting out scissors, you get unwanted cut marks in your file card. But I think that's a nice feature there that's probably overlooked. And if you do like keeping your file cards, so it's definitely, hope he stays like this and doesn't go back to the that comes in and curved piece. He never had it, but the G.I. Joe ones to do that are kind of a pain, but it is what it is. So here's my file card cut out. You can see how I cut mine out. I kind of cut on the outside of the dash line just to protect the inner card. It's pretty good, in my opinion. Obviously, you have your own likes and dislikes, but this is a good example. I cut out my Action Force points. I just cut out like this because the file card example, if it had all this little design here, getting it in there, and then depending on the card stock, it can be especially difficult, like the G.I. Joe vehicles from the classic, and you get that very thicker cardboard, and it just bends and warps, and then you get those indents and stuff. But this is like very cheap car stock, is the reason I'm not even keeping my packaging. This packaging will not stand the test of time. You will get yellowing on the back eventually, but that's my my little bonus content for you guys on the file card and the way I do things as a little insight. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to thumbs up for me. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below your thoughts and comments. Please feel free to share the video with all your fellow friends and collectors. And if you do, thank you so much in advance. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next review.